It is experiment time. So if your video is not playing on the screen, don't worry. That will start in just a few moments. First, I want you to make sure that you have your worksheet that has these 4 boxes at the bottom: MA of 1 pulley, MA of 2 pulley, MA of 3 pulley, MA of 4 pulley. We will be figuring out the mechanical advantage of 1, 2, 3, and 4 pulleys. So make sure you have that worksheet. If you need to, pause the video and go get that worksheet. Otherwise, we are first going to start with the single pulley and doing an experiment with that single pulley. So let's move that aside and let's get started. We will be going ahead with this experiment now. We will be looking at the single pulley, just like the picture that you see there beside us. And we will be figuring out the MA of 1 pulley. So that is the box that we're going to fill out here first. That is at the bottom of your worksheet. So let's get started. There are 2 things that we need to figure out: the weight and the scale reading, and that is the scale reading whenever we use our pulley. And for 1 pulley, we will be setting it up just like the picture you see there. I have my pulley right here. You can see it has a wheel in the middle, and then it also has a rope that lays right into that wheel. So we're going to hook this pulley right to the top here, just like you see in our picture. Okay, then we need to find out, we can see that we have 1 pulley and we have 1 string. In other words, we have 1 string that will hook to our object we're lifting and 1 string that we're pulling. So we're not counting the string that we're pulling, we're only counting the string that is lifting the object. So we have 1 string and we have 1 pulley. And the first number that we need to fill in our box there is the weight. So this is just a 2-liter bottle filled with water, and we are going to go ahead and use this is our digital scale, and we are going to go ahead and weigh our object here that we will be lifting. And what we have is 4.05 pounds. Okay, so that is the weight of our object. And we're just going to round that to 4 pounds. So you can go ahead and fill in the 4 there on your paper. And the next thing that we need to figure out is if there is mechanical advantage and what effort it takes to lift our bottle. So we're going to go ahead and hook our string up to our object that we're lifting. Okay, we're going to clear our scale back to 0, and then we will lift our bottle and see what our scale reading is. So that's what we'll fill in next. Let's go ahead, we will lift it. We're going to wait for the beep. Okay, and what we have now is 3.8. Now if we round that 3.8, we are going to get 4. So what we're seeing is there really isn't very much less effort when we use our pulley, our single pulley. So as you might remember from our notes, a single pulley does not gain mechanical advantage. And so you can go ahead and put a 4 in there because we're going to round the 3.8 to 4. And this is a simple ratio or division problem. So 4 divided by 4 we know is 1, and that makes our mechanical advantage 1, which is basically not much of a mechanical advantage at all. Okay, so when using a single pulley like this, the only thing that it really does is it changes the direction of which you're pulling. So that may make it simpler to do, but it doesn't necessarily make any less work. Okay, the effort is still going to be basically the same. Okay, So that is with the single pulley. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that single pulley and bring in a double pulley. So this is what we're going to be setting up on our experiment next. And we want to fill in the second box there. It says MA of 2 pulleys. So let's go ahead and take our single pulley down. Right. And now we have a double pulley. Here we have a pulley on the bottom and a pulley that we will hook to the top. So this pulley is going to hook to the top, and this pulley is going to hook to our bottle. So now we have a pulley up here and we have a pulley down here. So we have 2 pulleys, and if you notice right here we have 1, 2 strings. 2 pulleys, 2 strings. So again, we need to figure out the weight in the scale reading, and we can see that we have 2 pulleys and 2 strings. Now, we already know the weight of our object, right? We don't need to continue to reweigh that. My object hasn't changed. It's still going to be my 4-pound bottle. So we can go ahead and fill in that 4. The thing that is going to change is going to be the effort that it takes to lift our 4-pound bottle. So we are going to zero out our scale, and now we are going to pull our scale and what we will find is a 2.15. So 2.15 is much less than 4. All right? And if we do the math, the scale reading was 2.15. We're going to round that to a 2. Okay, we're just rounding that down to a 2. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So our mechanical advantage for 2 pulleys is 2. All right? So far so good. We are definitely seeing mechanical advantage being gained. We are definitely having to work less. Pulling 2 pounds is a whole lot easier than pulling 4 pounds. So I am noticing a difference.